Hey, sports fans, PB&Z Sports Chaos. We told you it's marathon weekend last time we talked to you, and it's a marathon of PB&Z bringing sports chaos this weekend, right?
Oh yeah, let's go.
We got some hockey talk. PB, think about this marathon is tomorrow, right? You also got the Red Sox in their traditional 11 o'clock game, and you got the Bruins tomorrow night. So you could go from Fenway, walk down the street to Kenmore, see some of the marathon, head to Causeway, get drunk, go to the Bruins game, right? If you're lucky enough.
Yeah.
What a trifecta.
What are those tickets going for?
I don't even know, but I just can you imagine that day? Oh my God! If you were
Yeah,
like a person that could pull that off,
that'd be epic. And I bet you there are people that are going to do that.
oh sure, yeah, right,
Yeah,
unbelievable. I wonder if they'll have a half Red Sox, half Bruins shirt.
yeah, right.
Probably not. All right. Hey, by the way, I just checked. I'm watching Sports Center. Lamar is still not signed. A-Rod still hasn't been traded yet. The marathon continues for that. All right, let's get on with hockey time. PB, get this. I found this very interesting. The Penguins did not make the playoffs for the first time in 17 years. It was Sid the Kid's rookie year the last time they didn't make the playoffs. You imagine his whole career has been in the playoffs, right?
Wow, I didn't know that. Wow, and it's because of the Panthers down the stretch, right? They won like
Yeah.
6 or 7 of their last 8, and they snuck ahead of them and got in as the 8.
And by the way, then the Penguins go and fire their whole leadership team. They fired the president of operations, the GM, the assistant GM. I don't know if the coach was fired as well, but they cleaned out house because they didn't make the playoffs for the first time in 70 years.
Well, if they did, they would have caught the Bruins in the first round and got swept anyway. So they'd probably be in the same boat a week from now.
Good point. Good point. Hey, I got to ask about the Bruins. We talked about this the other day. I mean, their season is just epic. It's unfreaking believable, right? Best year ever. Are they going to get shafted, though, when it comes to the award season? Like, they're not going to get the MVP, right? No one's going to get an MVP. No one's going to get a Norris. I mean,
No,
we get maybe the Vezina?
Yeah, I think that Vesna already has gone to Allmark. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think it was awarded yet, was it?
Oh, I don't know. I maybe I just read something that he should get it or whatever. But
It's a no-brainer.
yeah, I think the Vesna is definitely is going to go to Allmark for sure. But yeah, there's too many other. I mean, Connor McDavid is just like
I know.
The guy scored 64 goals and had 138 points or something. I mean, yeah.
But his team did not set the record for wins and points in the season.
What's that?
His team didn't set the record for wins and points in the season.
Right. Exactly, right? So how valuable is he? That question is still out there.
Yeah.
But we'll be talking about the Oilers in a little bit here because obviously they won on teams in the playoffs. So
I got another stat for you real quick before we get into the picks. The Bees finished 5 of their guys finished in the top 9 of plus minus, including 1, 2, and 3. That's impressive as crap, huh?
Oh, well, when your team is plus 127 or whatever it was, I think the next best team was plus 60 something, 66, 67. I mean, you're basically double the amount of plus minus than the next best team. So right there, it goes to show you how many players obviously are on the ice when all those goals are getting scored, right? So
yeah, good enough.
They had the best. They had the best. Well, actually, they didn't have the most goals scored in the league. They actually were second to the Oilers, right?
Oilers, who had 300-point scorers on the team.
Yeah, right. And then they had 325 goals, and the Bruins only had 305. So just think about how good the Bruins were this year. Edmonton scored 20 more goals than them, but it was the defense. It was the Bruins' defense. So they only allowed 167 goals, I think, this year, and I don't think any other team was under 200. So just by virtual math, you're going to have guys with good plus minus, right?
And by the way, the 3 trades they made at the break, at the deadline, all those guys are factors. Hard to believe a team this good, you brought guys in that late in the season and they're factors at this point in time. So,
yeah, I agree.
Nice. All right, let's get into the picks. Let's start right away with the Atlantic Division. The Bees got the Panthers, your hometown team. I think the goalie's in detox, right?
Yeah. It's a Boston College product, right? Spencer Knight. Yeah. I don't know if it's detox. It could be mental health. They haven't really disclosed. Okay. They haven't really disclosed exactly what it is because of HIPAA rights and everything else. But that being said, yeah, I do know the Panthers, right? I know the players. I know the team. I see them play 8 to 10 times every year. They play right here in my backyard. By the way, I got a ticket for next Sunday. I'm going to go to Game 4 to see the Sweep.
So you just preview what you're going to pick here.
I give you a preview, but I do think out of, you look at some of these 8 seeds, or let's call them wild cards, that are in the NHL. They legitimately, every single one of these wild card teams, you look at the Islanders, you look at the Panthers, you look at the Kraken, and you look at the
Wild.
What is it?
Was it the Wild?
No, it's the other team. We'll get to it in a minute. But you look at all these teams and the opportunities that they have to take over I think it's Winnipeg.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
They all have legitimate shots. I mean, some of them have strengths at goaltending. Some of them have different strengths. Here's what it is with the Panthers. And let's also note, the Bruins came down here to Florida twice during the regular season and lost both times. So there is a little bit of history there. But where the problem lies with the Panthers, and they scored a decent amount of goals this year. They only scored maybe 15 goals less than the Bruins. So they can score. Obviously led by Tkachuk is their highest goal scorer. I think he put 50 or 60 goals this year. I'll tell you what the problem is. Bobrovsky did not have a good season. They bring this kid in, Alex Lyon, who only has a small sample size. He started 14 or 15 games down the stretch. Granted, he had a save percentage of 91.4, which would have qualified him to be in the top 10, probably in goaltending. And Bobrovsky, he not the same. He did not have a good year this year. And what are they going to do with the playoffs? Are they going to start with Lyon and then see how things go? Are they going to go with the veteran Bobrovsky? Can he stand up to the Bruins? I think that's going to be their big question mark, and the Bruins are going to have their way with them. So
you got Panthers getting swept. I got them winning one game. To your point, I think Bruins lose one in Florida, but they win the thing in 5.
They very well could, and then the Bruins go win it back on home ice. But I'm going to root for the sweep because I'm going to be there for Game 4, and I'd like to see the Bruins walk off.
There you go. All right, staying with the Florida teams, Toronto is playing Tampa Bay. Is this another Florida crash and burn?
Man, this could go either way. I was on the fence on this one. As a matter of fact, I filled out 2 brackets, and this is one of the first rounders where I took Toronto in one and Tampa in the other. But I'll go on record saying Toronto. I think a Boston-Toronto second round playoff matchup would be pretty epic.
Original six.
Yep, and we know there's some history there as well. So I'm going to go with Toronto on the record for this one.
I'm with you. I think Tampa Bay, much like the Warriors in basketball, I think that run is over at this point in time, probably, for those guys. Hey, by the way, Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner, speaking of a 1-2 punch, right? They're pretty darn good, too. So I got Toronto as well. All right, let's go to Metro. We got the Canes playing the Islanders, who you just mentioned. Islanders are on a hot streak right now.
They are.
What do you think?
Yeah, and Sorokin is one of your top 5 goaltenders in the league. So the question is really going to come down to, and the Hurricanes were no slouch either, both offensively and defensively, right? Goaltending looked good. So I think Sorokin will have to stand on his head for the Islanders to win this series, but he can.
Yeah.
There's a possibility that he can do that. So this is one of those teams that might be a wild card that could get out of the first round somehow. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think there's too much offense on the Kane side, and that's where the Islanders aren't as strong. So I think it'll go 6, but I'm gonna take the Canes.
I'm with you. Same thing. 6 or even 7. And the other thing is, I want to see the Canes play the Bruins and Bruins get some redemption for last year. So
they need to get that too, right? So that would be your conference finals, right?
Yep. All right. Here's the one that I've been tossing back and forth. Matter of fact, in our bracket, I took the team I'm not going to take right now. Devils versus the Rangers. Who do you like?
Yeah, and I did the same thing. I did 2 brackets, and this is another series that I switched. It's easy with the 2 threes to switch them, right? Because they could go either way, just like the Toronto-Tampa series. But if I got to go on the record, I'm going to say Rangers, and the reason why is because I think the Rangers, they're invested. They made some big moves during the season.
They did.
I think they're all now. Can they beat the Hurricanes? Can they beat the Bruins? Can they beat the Maple Leafs? Probably not. They're probably not as good as those 3 teams. But I think they can beat the Devils. I'm going to take the Rangers in this one.
Ooh, I'm starting to think a little bit. I did take the Rangers in our bracket, but I'm going to stick with my original pick here. I got the Devils winning this one. This one's going to go 7.
Wait, you got the Devils or?
Got the Devils.
Oh, okay. All right.
I took the Rangers in the bracket on our PB&Z bracket, but I'm going to go Devils. All right, so we go the second round. We get the Bees versus Toronto, Canes versus the Devils. We'll start with the Canes and Devils. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go Canes. This is another.
Well, you got Rangers. I'm sorry, you got Rangers. I get Devils. All right, okay. So you got.
I'll go. I'm still going to go Hurricanes. I think it'll go 7, but I'll take the Hurricanes.
By the way, the Canes beginning of the year were a higher pick in Vegas than the Bruins were. And look, I mean, so the Canes, they're a talented team. A lot of people had a lot of faith in them at the beginning of the year. So I got Canes going to this. I got them going to the conference final against the Bees. I think the Bees in Toronto. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, historically, this has just been a great, playoff matchup, and it always seems to go 7. But I don't think that happens this year. I think the Bruins still win that series in 5 or 6 games.
I would like to see it go 7, though, wouldn't you?
It'd be that game 7 in Boston would be just unbelievable.
Although maybe we don't want that because PB, you and I both watched the Blues Bruins game 7, thought it was a sure thing, no brainer. We had champagne ready to go, and we saw what happened with that one.
You think it happened in game 7? Game 7 scared the crap out of me.
All right, so Bees, Canes in the final.
Yep, and I think the Bees win this one quick too, and that might be the only thing that's going to hold them back in the Cup is going to be all this time off because I think they're going to win this one in 5 or 6 as well, and be sitting there waiting for the Western Conference champions to stop the Cup.
I'm with you as well. I think they're going to give the Canes a beatdown for last year. All right, let's go out west. We got the Central. We got the Stars playing the Wild, correct?
Yeah. The Avalanche snuck ahead of the Stars with their Friday night last game of the year. They won and they took over the Stars. So the Stars are now sitting at a 2. I think I got to give it to the Stars. I just think they're a more well-rounded team, better defensive team. So I'm going to take the Stars.
I'm with you as well. Jason Robinson, their big scorer. And they also got Tyler Seguin, for former Bruin, right? He's in the second line, right?
Yeah.
All right. Then we got the Avs and the Kraken.
The Avs and the wait, who did the Avs draw? No, the Avs drew the Jets, right?
Oh, they got the Jets.
Okay. Wait, no, I don't know. Wait, now you got me confused. I'd have to. All right, host man, what do we got? It doesn't matter because I'm going to take. I'm taking the Avs.
I'm taking the Avs as well. You're right. I don't really care. Nathan McKinnon, the Avs all day long. And then Vegas, I thought Vegas was playing the Jets. Again, to me, this doesn't matter. Jack Eichel, by the way, my son did his plumbing for his beach house in Seabrook. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not. But anyways, Vegas, I got Vegas in 6 games, baby.
Yeah, I think Vegas is, although, again, the Jets are one of those teams that, as a wild card, especially because Hellebuyck, he's like a top 5 goalie in the league. And he's a former Vezina winner. If he starts standing, I put this in the same vein as the Islanders' chances of beating the Hurricanes. Like Sorokin has to stand on his head for that. Hellebuyck has to stand on his head for this one. So there's an outside shot. I think it's going to go to 6 or 7, which a lot of people won't expect. But I still
too. I guess same thing. 6 games. All right, Oilers Kings. Speaking of the Oilers, they got that big 3 that replaced a guy named Gretzky, Messier, and Messier, and maybe some guy named Ari, right?
Yeah. I mean, Connor McDavid, absolute stud. Draisaitl. Yeah, Draisaitl.
That other kid, Nugent Hopkins, right? He's a stud too. He's a 100-point scorer.
Yeah, all 3 had over 100 points. The goals, with 250 goal scorers on the same team. It's really going to come down to, but this is why I like this team so much. It's going to come down to goaltending, and you look at their goals against on the season, and it's like middle of the pack at best. But I'll tell you what, their number 1 goalie, Stuart Skinner, he kind of shared the same vein that Swayman and Allmark shared. About 52 games to 36 games. I think the Bruins were like 53, 37, something like that. So he had a 2.75 goals against average, Skinner, and he had a 914 save percentage, wow, which is easily good for top 10 in the league in both categories, right?
Yep.
Their other goalie, Jack Campbell, had a 3.45 goals against average and a 88 save percentage, which was near the bottom worst in the league. but yet he played 36 games during the
Wow.
season. Why? Because that's what they do with goalies, right? They play about 2/3, right? For every 2 games, usually around 2/3 or 3/5, right? Of one goalie playing versus the other. What happens in the playoffs?
The hot goalie plays, right, in the playoffs.
You're not going to see Jack Campbell between the pipes the entire playoffs. So you're dealing with this offense and a top 10 goaltender in Stuart Skinner. That's why, and you'll see in a minute, why I have Edmonton going all the way to the cup. But I got them winning this first round pretty handily, actually. Maybe in 5, it might go 6.
Ooh, all right. I got Avs winning as well. I get them in 5.
You mean the Oilers?
Oilers. I'm sorry, Oilers. Yeah, Oilers. All right. So we got Stars and Avs in the second round, right? That's where it lines up to be.
Yep. Stars and Avs. I'm going to go Avalanche again. I mean, defending champions. I think they it's either them or the Oilers. To me, are going to be in the game.
I want that conference rematch, right? Edmonton and Colorado and the rematch in the conference finals. So yeah, same thing. I got Avs and I got Oilers in the next round as well against Vegas.
Oh wow, I'm surprised because you're usually a Vegas man.
I know. I usually pick Vegas, but
I know.
I want to see the Edmonton Avs series again. That was a classic last year. And by the way, I'm going to give you a spoiler alert. That's just like you did. I do not see the Avs repeating this year.
Yeah,
they don't get out of the conference.
I had the Avs and Oilers as well. I'd love to see a repeat. And again, to what I said earlier, that series has got 7 games written all over it. Bruins are going to put the beat down on the Canes in 4 or 5, right? And then they're going to be sitting around waiting. That's the only thing I don't like is the Bruins going to have like a week off before they play another hockey game. And truth be told, in my brackets, I had these 2 in the finals, Western Conference. In one of them, I took the Avs, and the other one, I took the Oilers. But on the record, I'm going with the Oilers and Bruins in the finals.
So this will be a rematch of what? Was it 93, 94, or 95, 95, 96?
Yeah, it was a while. I can't remember the exact year. But
actually, I think it was 94, 95.
Yeah,
and it did not end well for Bruins. That was a series where the lights went out, I think, in the Garden, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I think the Bruins actually might have lost twice to the Oilers during
They
that.
did lose twice to them. Yeah, that was the last one, I believe. So guess what? Oiler fans, not this time. It is definitely the Bruins year. This will not be the Patriots of 2007. It's the Bruins all the way. Do you agree?
I'm right there with you. I got the Bruins. And like I said in my brackets, I got Bruins winning in both of them. Bruins over the Avs in one, Bruins over the Oilers in the other. But let's get ready to drop this puck, baby.
To your point, I think the Bruins might end up getting knocked off a game at home early because of the rust. This play goes 6 games, maybe 7.
Yeah, it could. It's going to be a great.
By the way, yesterday was the NBA first day of the playoffs. Already, I'm concerned about the Celtics. They were winning by 30 at the half. They only won by 13. That's my concern with them. That's why I picked the Bucks.
All right, we'll see.
Bucks and blood in the water.
Bucks and Heat go today.
All right, man. Good show. Bruins all the way, baby.
All right, drop the puck, baby.